Hello YouTube, Marielle here. Just wanted to give you an update. I'm not actually quite finished with the series of scary events that I've started. I've been having problems downloading things and editing things, and but there are still quite a few things I would like to mention about those things that I am now realizing are rather scary and very indicative of how things have developed and how I now really starting to feel afraid really of my wolf. I'm certainly starting to take things much more seriously than I've ever had before, and this, quite frankly, I think it was due to the fact that an awful lot of those things happened not only randomly, without provocations, without any, so abruptly, and also because those things happened gradually, and there was always a huge space of time between those outbursts that kind of lulled me into a false sense of security and forced me as well to not pay as close attention as I should have had until very, very recently, as things have started to intensify, and I can no longer dismiss those, what took place, what happened, and the significance of those events. But I just wanted to, but for today I would like to just give an update in the meantime. Like, for instance, my daughter is no longer at home. Not that I don't know whether she's left or not. She hasn't been home since I've been back. The day after, she accused me of all of those things, and I tried to talk to her and try to apologize to her. She never came back home. She left and she never came back home. And this is after her forcing me to apologize, forcing me to take responsibility for everything that her father has been doing. And this is after me trying to, the best that I could, to try to make her understand and reassure her and telling her that I love her and telling her it will be all right. And her, telling me that I was a bad mother and urging me to speak to her father with tears in her eyes and all of those things, as if she has never been present when I have, in a very mature way and in a very calm way, spoken to her father about issues regarding them, and never getting a feedback, just getting this blank, stoic, indifference type of a feedback and expression in his face, as if she's never seen that years after years after years, as if she has never witnessed her father not saying anything back, not participating, not doing anything, not taking any responsibilities, or even saying anything back, as if she's never seen that, as if she's never witnessed her father continuing as if nothing was ever said, as if she's never witnessed that, been part of this and seen it. And then she goes and tells me it's all my fault, and she goes and tells me that I need to talk to him. It's always me. I have to always do something. I have to always be the one to make the effort. But I am human, and I'm tired, and I'm scared. And every single one of them who are my family, they have been attacking me in their own ways. The best example of this is what I call love notes. My daughter and my wolf, my daughter and her father, have been for a long time now leaving each other love notes. And those love notes are the trash they leave inside the house as well as outside the around the property, on purpose for me to force me to clean. My daughter, in the last few months has picked up a habit of smoking, a smoking habit. And she has been consistently smoking and then leaving the cigarette butts right in front of the back door. The door, the door that, that's from, that gives into the garage, the back entrance. She's been leaving butts of cigarettes all over the patio. And then she went from doing that to, because I wasn't responding or saying anything, she started to leave the ash, the ash, not the ash, but as well as smearing the butt, the end of the cigarette. So basically, whenever she extinguished the cigarette, she literally just crushed it against the, she crushes it against the wall or the ground, and then leave everything there. And it's right as you step to enter inside the house. You can't miss it. And she's been doing that now for months. And with her father seeing that and saying absolutely nothing, basically waiting for me to get upset, have a reaction, and then have a talk with my daughter so that she can explode on me, so that I can repost, and then we can have exchange of words, so we can be upset at each other. So once more I look bad, and then my daughter can reinforce in her head that I am a bad person, and then she can go to my husband, to her father, so he can console her, so their bond would grow even stronger over something that both of them would have created and both of them will enjoy deep down, but they can have that common ground to feel strong against me. And this has been going on for a while. There are a few things, very basic things, like turn off the lights when you're done. Don't let the extractor fan in your bathroom to go on forever. When you finish, turn it off. And if you forget when you wake up in the morning, turn that off. That's electricity. Just basic things. If you take something, if you use something, a plate, just put it inside the dishwasher. Just very basic teenager normal things. That is no longer respected. Even plain safety things, because our father is not here at the moment. He's still not back. He's supposed to come back tomorrow, and I have no idea how I'm going to handle it. I'm probably just going to leave. So, lock the door when you come inside the house. Just lock the door. Nothing is respected. And the house is just a mess, because I've clearly refused to be put in a situation which is very clear to me that they are trying to bend my will. They are trying to... The best expression I can think of, this is something that my father used to use, is that you have somebody who basically takes a big dump somewhere, and then they take your neck, and then they rub it in the dump they have made, and then they laugh at you. This is virtually what it looks like to me. This is how it feels to me. And I have refused. You just don't do that to me. I'm not that kind of person. I have certain amount of pride. This is my family, and there is an awful lot that I've put up with because I did not understand. There is an awful lot that I put up with because they were my children, and it was my husband, and it was my duty and my job to allow, to give space, and to give a certain amount of space for them to make mistakes and for them to mature, and for me to play my role as a nurturer, as a giver, as their keeper, and so much more. But this has gone way beyond that. I don't know the term, but everything is done on purpose, and I can't stand for this. This is not who I am. I've never allowed anybody to disrespect me like this. This goes way beyond. And because I have refused to bend, and I have refused to play that game that they are, participate, because it is a game. And all of them, even when my son was here, that's what they do. That's what they've been doing to me. And I refuse. I refuse. This is not me. An awful lot of people, they think that I am a codependent or something like that. And I say, no, I've never been a codependent. There is a difference between being a people pleaser and doing your duty and playing your role as a mother, as a wife. There is a difference. And that difference, that line of demarcation has been stepped over so many times, and is so blatant. I am not blind, and that's where my boundary is. And because I have refused to allow them to step all over me in this way, my house is a complete and utter disaster. And I'm not only watching my husband contribute to those children, to the future of those children to fall into pieces, but I have to watch as well as my space is being disrespected, as my home is being desecrated, and it's horrible. At this point, if something was to happen to my daughter, if anything was to happen to her, not only my husband will actually take no responsibility for it, but my daughter will blame me for it on purpose, and in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of anybody who doesn't understand what's happening, they will blame me too. They'll be, your mother. How could you let that happen? How could you let your child not be here? How could your child not be in your home and you not knowing who they are with and what they are doing? And again, my husband will look good because he's the one who's traveling and he's the one who's leaving. So I look responsible no matter what I do. And this is so awful. And my daughter has always had this way of saying to me, and she's been saying that for quite a while actually. She's been saying to me, you can't stop me. There's nothing you can do. And she's right. But But in the light of discovering and reassessing my situation and really realizing that my wolf is potentially dangerous and I can't predict his anger, his outburst of anger, that really I need to do something about that. So I went to the court. I went to the county court and see whether I could get a protective order against him. And I was taken in and given an interview, and I explained as much as I possibly could. And again, it's the same thing over and over. There is no proof. They said they understood, they believed me, but unless I could say that he raped me, unless I could say that he strangled me, unless I could say that he did hurt me, or that I felt pain whenever he touched me, there is nothing they could do. You know, they had a list of physical abuse, you know, to mark, and none of those things, you know, applied to me. And they said they were sorry, and all they could do was give me a list of therapists to go see, and they gave me a list of shelters that I should go and see as well. And they recommended me to leave. And they said that if he was to do anything, even put his hands on you, if you were to stay, just call the police. And I thought, you want me to call the police every single time he lays a finger on me, touches me? Even if he was to scream at me, wouldn't the police would eventually think bad of me and also just say that it's just a normal domestic dispute and not do anything? And she said to me, the lady said to me, well, at least you'll create a paper trail, and that's what you want. I was left hurt, deflated, and I broke down and I just cried, because all I could think of in my head, all I could in my head, all I could hear is the voice of my daughter saying to me, there is nothing you can do. And it looks that's exactly the case. There is nothing I can do. My wolf is too smart. I feel so